Oh, the internet is generally frightful, but Jupiter at night so delightful. So long as we're presented live, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
And welcome to Jupiter at Night. My name is Chris.
My name is Jeremy.
Hey there, J-Man.
Hey there, Chris Man.
Tonight we're talking about the crazy snowstorm, and it's all over the East Coast, but we should be honest, here in the Pacific Northwest, things are looking pretty good.
That's a shot of my backyard from this morning.
Yeah, that's, I gotta say, quite pleasant.
Why, thank you. I don't do a darn thing to keep it up.
Unfortunately, for a large majority of our viewers out there, the snow has been nuts. Now, we've already done a snow episode, but we actually got follow-up coverage on the snow because it's huge. In fact, if you're watching
this blizzard is covering more than half of the United States.
Yeah. There's a great shot of it. It is absolutely ginormous. I mean, this is something I think that is probably a once-in-a-lifetime kind of snowstorm.
I think so, yeah.
It's kind of exciting for us as observers, but we totally understand there's people out there that are just getting slammed and it's
boned, really.
And there's a real cost to it. There's been some articles about the businesses that are getting shut down and things like that.
Well, the governor of Missouri, I think, has called for national disaster aid because of the situation down there.
And
they're not accustomed to this level of snow.
And a lot of the folks that have been affected, like at the GM plants and the Ford plants, have just been told to stay home.
Yeah,
just stay home. Now, if you remember, J-Man, we asked for people to send in their submissions last night on Jupiter Night, and a few folks have sent theirs in. The first one I want to show here is footage from a viewer, Dr. Cause. He's called in a few times on the shows if you've watched. He sent this footage. This is actually from his place, and first thing you'll notice in the shot is there's a mailbox, and that mailbox, the snow is all the way up to the mailbox.
Now, some of that might have been from shoveling and stuff, but if you look at the other side of the street, it's not. It was almost 2 feet deep.
Yeah, there's another mailbox. Yeah, it's some of it's from shoveling.
It's not just the drifting. It was actually that much snow. It's ridiculous.
It is. Now, on the Pacific Northwest, I don't know if we've really ever had a lot in the way of epic snowstorms. I did share a snow story last time where I said I had this boss and it snowed, and he totally didn't believe me that it snowed. He
didn't get any snow at his house, so he was like,
"Yeah, whatever." About that? How can if there's one work excuse that is provable or not provable, it is snow.
Right.
And he didn't believe me, and I mentioned that I went out in the snow. I was all mad. I went out in my driveway and I wrote F you in the snow, and I took a picture of it and I emailed it to him on my phone. And I said if I could ever find the picture again, if we ever did another snow episode, I'd try to show it. Well, my wife dug this up for us, and there it is.
The actual picture.
There it is right there where I wrote F you to my boss.
Now, I want to point out that you're probably being called a pansy by everybody that lives on the eastern part of the U.S. right now, because that's like an inch, 2 inches.
Oh, I know. You know what it is, and this is what's happening on the East Coast now. Is it's the ice?
Yeah.
And overnight, it's the theory is they're going to wake up in the morning and just be blasted with ice.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, plus, especially in Chicago, I think is getting some of the worst of it. Now, their blizzard has officially stopped. They're not actually getting much precipitation anymore, but the wind and the wet coming off the lake.
In fact, we have a clip.
It's starting to coat things just in ice.
We have a clip of the wind,
lake.
And the wind from this thing, it's able to actually push a car. And so you can imagine if that thing is delivering ice, holy smokes. You check this thing out.
One of the first shots in this is a taxi being pushed down the road.
That is really something. Now, there's a little audio you're hearing. That's from CNN there. And this is their coverage of the snowstorm this morning.
And check out the warning from the National Weather Service, quote, before considering getting on the roads this morning, ask yourself if getting to your destination is worth risking your life.
If it's worth your life.
You go die.
How dramatic is that? Is it really worth your life to go on the roads? And that was from the National Weather Service in Chicago. So
the Chicago's National Weather Service has already said that it's the second day of February. They've already had more snowfall in this month of February than they've ever had
in 2 days
ever recorded in the month of February. The entire month.
Yeah.
They've beaten that record in 2 days.
So here's the math, right? If you do
and they were saying it might snow again on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it because I'm not experiencing it that I'm jealous?
Yes.
I'm wondering if folks out there wish that if they weren't in the snow, is anybody getting slammed by the snow that loves it? Like anybody in the chat room right now?
I do have a gallery here of Chicago photos that includes a lot of people doing that's where you got this one of the people having a massive snowball fight.
Yep.
There's people building gigantic snowmen. There's kids sledding. There's everybody's out there enjoying it as much as they can. But
Dr. Kaz said, who sent us in that video, he says he's enjoying it somewhat. So, hey, a few folks in there are actually loving it.
But it's not all fun, sunshine, and roses. Actually, there's a good recap article in our show notes if you're interested from ABC News that includes many different stories that have come out, including one that I found really interesting is there's a group of guys on snowmobiles riding around.
What do they call themselves?
The White Riders?
Yeah, the White Riders. That's what it was. The White Riders to go in and rescue people.
They've been rescuing people from stranded buses and cars and things that are on the roads that were out when the blizzard hit and they couldn't get anywhere and didn't have emergency supplies.
What?
So that if they can't actually ferry them out of their... One of the stories in here is of a gal that was trapped in her car wearing just her business attire, a dress and heels.
Oh,
they couldn't take her to safety because she'd get frostbite on the way out.
To be honest with you, when you I guess if you don't read the story fully, I thought she was only wearing a dress, like she had nothing on. I guess that's technically true. She just had underwear on.
Maybe that's just what you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, she didn't have any emergency supplies, so they, instead of ferrying her off, actually brought her food and a blanket and stuff like that. Just let her stay in her car.
Bunch of snow superheroes.
Yeah. But there was also a group that, horror stories. There was a bus that got stranded.
Oh.
And the whole, everybody was, like a city bus. Everybody on the bus at the same time basically said, well, we're not going anywhere, so let's walk and let's stick together, so just in case anything happens. They got about 100 feet from the bus and couldn't see the bus and had to turn around and make their way back to it.
That's surreal.
Yeah.
Now, the Weather Channel has a great video that this story is really something. Some folks were at work, and they're inside, and they're like, do you hear that? Did you hear that? They run outside, and they get footage of the roof falling down of the building they were working in. Everybody made it out
snow
safe.
and ice weighs so much that building looks like it is made of cardboard.
And it's a metal and brick building.
Yeah.
And boy, is it a good thing they heard it before it came down? Could you imagine
being inside that? Now, that's another thing that...
Who wants to die at work?
We've never had to deal with that kind of thing, but people were out this morning as soon as the snow stopped, or even late last night, snow blowing the roofs and shoveling off their roofs.
Yeah, somebody in the chat room mentioned that they were out at 2 a.m. Shoveling their roof off.
Yeah.
That's no good. Now, do you remember, it was... Not quite as bad, but it was about 2 years ago. In fact, where some of these pictures are that my wife took, including the FU picture. These are some of the pictures I'm showing her just from around our house. During this snowstorm in Edmonds, which is a local town here on the water.
Yeah, on the water.
All the really nice boats with everybody's reserved monthly paid parking spot. Remember the roofs collapsed on that into everybody's boats and sunk a bunch of the boats at the marina.
Like really, like 20, 30, 40-foot yachts and stuff. Yeah.
So we've had those kinds of things, but I mean, nothing to this scale.
Not really. No.
Yeah.
I don't think that snow like is hitting the East Coast actually hits this part of the country.
That might be it. Yeah,
I just don't think it does. I don't think it can. Weather-wise, science. It's all science.
It is all science. Should we end on this world's largest snowman story?
It's a happy note.
It is a happy. Now this isn't from this snowstorm.
No, this is. But you know what? This happens in Maine, and they do this. I think every year now. They started in 1999. They built a few more over the years that haven't lived up to the 99 massive one, but that one is from 2008.
Okay.
That snowman is so large. Those are trees being used as arms.
Oh. They look like sticks.
Those are tires being used as buttons.
What the hell do they use for the scarf?
It's custom wove.
I guess.
Yeah.
Did they say what they use for the nose?
No.
Looks like it could be a radio transmitter.
But imagine how much snow they're getting right now. That thing's going to be like 3 miles high this year.
Wow, I'd love to climb that thing. And of course, you'd be able to, right? Because wouldn't you be able to walk up to it and just like carve something into it and you could climb it?
Sure, because it would need to be real sturdy to hold itself up.
Yeah, just stab spikes into it as you climb it and then you go up the top and then you'd be king of the snow mountain. Now, that'd be pretty cool.
Real quick, throw this up behind us. Right. I'm just going to cycle through some of the pictures that we got from viewers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That almost looks like 5 feet of snow. Oh, it's on bushes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Yeah, these are from LaBelle. Thank you, LaBelle.
Thank you, LaBelle. LaBelle.
Murphy's are a little small, but these are actually from last year's, where he's located. And I've forgotten where, Murphy, if you can tell me.
I think he went to bed. The Jupiter at Night's on too late. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so that's almost 2 feet on a railing. It doesn't stick there. It says 15 inches. He's got a ruler there.
I wonder if anyone out there is currently experiencing any major side effects or any major. You know what? Honestly, I'd be really impressed to hear if some of you are making the best out of it. I would try to, but
like that great famous internet picture of people that open their door and the snow's up to the top, so they just stick beer in it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, exactly. Or sledding, like Alan mentioned last night, something like that. But make impromptu beer fridge, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was trying to think if there's any other snow-related stories I have, but I think that's all the ones I have from my most recent memory. Anything, Josh?
I miss the snow of my youth. It seems like it was more back then. And I used to live near a golf course, which obviously nobody's playing golf when it snows, so they would open it up to the neighborhood kids to come sled. Because those gently sloping hills were wonderful for sledding.
This picture isn't a picture of it, but it kind of gives you an idea. I grew up, for some of the years that I grew up on a lake that only froze over once.
Ooh.
While growing up, that you could actually walk on it. But it got these like ice sheets on it like this picture has.
Especially near the shore.
Yeah. And when I was younger, I could take a step and see what happened. But there was one year where we could literally step off our dock.
That might have actually been the same year because my dad used to do a lot of remodeling stuff for people that own boats. That's why I knew about the Edmonds dock and everything. But there was a guy that had his dock in Everett.
Yeah.
And he was working on it during the winter, and the entire bay froze over. And we were out there throwing, this is kind of cruel, we were throwing bread to seagulls and watching them smack on the ice and slide away.
They didn't realize? They thought it was the water?
Well, seagulls aren't known to be the smartest bird.
You'd think you'd
High school mascot, by the way.
How poetic is that?
Yeah.
Chat room's liking that one too, dude. Although, actually, it looks like Alana, or I can't quite pronounce it in there, he's got a sad frowny face. Liana. Yeah. But... You know what?
Sky rats.
You know what? That's exactly it.
It wasn't like I was throwing them Alka-Seltzer or something.
Hey, you know what? I say the first time, that's your bad.
Yeah.
The first time they smack the ice, but the second time, that's their bad. That's on the seagulls, Jeremy.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm a seagull.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let us know if you're making the best of it, or if unfortunately it's been maybe not the best of it. I would like to hear those stories as well.
And we'll take more videos and pictures if you've got any. In fact, head over to Jupiter Colony and post them there if you've got any.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Then you can share them with the whole community here.
Yep.
And commiserate or laugh at each other or whatever.
Yeah. Dr. Kaz is on the go. See, what I like about Dr. Kaz is he's programmed NITE, N-I-T-E, at jupiterbroadcasting.com right into his address book. And so Dr. Kaz is just like out on the go. He's like, I'm taking a picture of that for the guys. You just get random emails from Dr. Kaz with a picture, but it's cool. And you can do the same. And if we get something awesome, we'd love to feature on the show. But of course, we can we'd love to have you join us live. Now, Jupiter Night, that's part of the fun, is it's live. You can join the chat room. You can share images and things like that we do.
That's more than part of the fun. That's most of the fun, I think.
And we love it when you join us. Do that over at jupiterbroadcasting.com/live. We do all our shows live now.
Oh my goodness, we do.
Yeah. And you can find all of those over at jupiterbroadcasting.com/calendar. Now, tomorrow night's Thursday. That'll be our last episode of the week, but we've got something planned, so tune in and join us for that. Even if you can't watch live, you can always go over to jupiterbroadcasting.com and download this show in every single format that I could think of that you'd probably want.
And a few that you might not.
Good chance. There's also the RSS feeds you could just subscribe to, plug it into your favorite RSS reader, or even iTunes if you're so inclined, and just get the show automatically when we release a new episode. And that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
That's great.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching tonight's episode of Jupiter at Night. And stay safe.
And stay warm.
Stay warm. We'll see you tomorrow night.